All right, what's up, Playboys and Playgirls? Trey here, the host of the ADCC Update Show, the worst show on the internet, all right? And to hold our title still as the #1 worst show on the internet, we went through a little bit of technical difficulties in this one. We kicked off this interview with Andre Galvão. We had some problems on our end, a little bit of echo, you know, so just stick with us. The first question or so, there's going to be some issues with Andre's audio, but then we get it all sorted out. It's smooth sailing from there, bringing those juicy podcast tunes straight to your ear the way I know you guys like it. So hopefully outside of that, you guys can enjoy this episode of the ADCC Update Show. Welcome back to the ADCC Update Show, the blue-collar division of the jiu-jitsu world. I'm your host, Trey Robinson. We got Uncle Reed over here, Professor Sinbad, a.k.a. Corey Stockton. Over on the side, we got Joey Scoops. And then calling in from sunny San Diego, the legend himself, Andre Galvão. Everybody give it up for Andre.
Andre, thanks for coming, Andre.
What's up, Andre? How's everything out on the West Coast?
Oh, sunny. Amazing.
Yeah,
just the best.
Living the good life out there in San Diego, huh?
Yeah, it's great life. Diego.
For sure. So we're kind of coming off the tails of ADCC here, you know, and your team had a pretty historic performance. 6 gold medals total, you know, Kynan double gold, Adele double gold, Rafaela, Felipe Pena. You know, just overall, how's kind of this post ADCC world been treating you? Have you been able to reflect on the team's performance or anything?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was an incredible weekend. We had a great performance. Just like I mentioned before, we had Adele getting the double gold, which is incredible. I remember I saw that one time back in the day, but at the Worlds, not at ADCC. This is the first time at ADCC. So, and I'm really proud of everyone. Rafaela Guedes, she got her gold medal finally. She definitely deserved it. And Felipe Pena, you know, was training here at ATOS and everything working in his favor. He had an incredible performance even against Gordon.
For sure. So just talk to us a little bit about like what that camp was leading up. We came out and visited a couple times, and it was obviously, you know, a super intense camp like you guys always have for ADCC, but a lot of names like a couple that aren't normally there, like Felipe and Adele Fornerino was there this time. You know, just in general, how was the camp for you guys?
Man, the camp was incredible. We had our coaches here. We have our coach of wrestling helping us. Of course, we have Coach Fred Leave. He didn't participate as much this time, but he's always with us. We work around him. But this time we got Coach Jason here, and there's some other 2 coaches. It was Coach Tank and Coach E. And both of them did a great job. All the athletes, our athletes right now are going to their high school facility to train with them, and made a huge difference. You know, and I'm really proud of everyone that worked hard in this game. Right? We had Adele be on top, but as you guys know, she's more like a bottom game fighter, and she went there. She had an incredible performance. And I believe the team of that we have here definitely the supports to Adele to conquer this world title. All the girls, right? We have here, the juveniles, I believe they help Adele so much to achieve this goal. Also, we changed a little bit since the last ADCC. We changed the way we are doing the classes, right? We're running the classes, and definitely I could see a huge difference in the improvement of all the athletes. And even see Felipe Pena's performance, you can tell that a huge difference in the game. Not only from part of this game, but also the first time we start like him and we start like shaping his game. of course, he has already, but we improve a lot in different aspects. You know? Top, bottom. I believe having trained together, they help each other. And you see, like in the final, he had an incredible double, something that he doesn't use as much, right? And then he surprised Griffey in the finals, and then he achieved the title. Incredible performance by everyone. Everyone had a couple submissions in each weight division. Every single fighter did great. You know, I'm really, really proud of them, and that's what we changed. We just changed the communication with the athletes as well, right? I believe as a coach, I have some areas that I need to improve, and I always try to grow, and I always try to make sure that I can give my best to my athletes so they can perform really well. And I believe they did. You know, we have incredible result. Of course, there's uh, some other athletes that they well, but we are like some you know, like sometimes you have to deal with injuries and things like that. Like Jonathan's great case, he had a broken rib before ADCC. He was someone that we knew that he could do really well, but unfortunately, it wasn't like his best, you know. But he went there before we hard. He ended up got stopped by Wagner. Wagner was on fire, right? Of course, but he's, you know, they're young. All the teams are so young, and they have you know, they're gonna have another opportunity, and I hope they can come back stronger. Right, those guys that did perform well this time, right? But overall, it was a great performance by everyone. I'm very proud of everyone.
For sure. It was the first time we got to see you just all in as a coach also. But
Yeah.
I think we're having some audio issues on our end, Andre, so I'm gonna have to pause and ask our producer if there's a way we can is there any way we can improve it, Nikki, or like so yeah, this was obviously a big showing from your team, but kind of like I mentioned, it was the first time we got to see you as a coach, just all in coach mode, you know, not worrying about competing or anything. What was that like for you to kind of switch it up and just be completely dialed in as the coach for this camp?
Yes, definitely. I believe that made a huge difference. Uh, kind of asked me, "Oh, professor, why do you think we had such a great result?" Um, I start thinking, and then I figured that having me as a coach there, it helped a lot, you know, because I have a lot of experience. If you see, like when I was coaching, the whole time I was telling them the things to do. They listened to me. The connection was amazing. So I feel that the connection was incredible, and that made a huge difference.
Yeah, there was
I think having me as a coach there made a huge difference.
For sure. I think there's some specific examples where I saw it with my own eyes in live time and looking back at the footage. One of them being in the final, it was Bia Basilio versus Adele, and you're telling Adele like the mirror lock's there. There's going to be a mirror lock there, and then finally she hit the mirror lock and everything. So it's like definitely I think having you just all in on that coaching mindset, being there for the athletes and everything, it did definitely seem to make a difference for their performance.
Yes, I believe so. And the last ADCCs, I was fighting, and I had other people helping our athletes. And then I think that it's not the same. It's not the same. I think we could win more, even more before than what we did. I think that my coaching made a huge difference.
Was there a part of you this time around, Andre, that you were kind of, I don't know, missing being out there on the mats? You know, just being the coach the whole time? Was there a time in the weekend where you're like, man, actually, I really do wish I was kind of back out there? Just wondering.
You know, you're an athlete and you're a competitor, but you have to know that there's a time. I had my prime. I believe I'm no longer in my prime, so I have to just sit in the chair and coach them. I prefer right now to be with the joystick.
Yeah.
Just like help them.
Yeah, I did really want to ask you about Kynan there, because I think we were all just so blown away. I mean, blown away by Adele, blown away by Kynan, blown away by Felipe, to be honest. Yeah. So many great performances, but specifically Kynan, and obviously we've seen Kynan, kind of grow up on the mats a little bit over the last 5 or so years, and we've seen him, take some losses recently. And even when we go out to see you guys training at ATOS, it looks to me that like Kynan's really not the one who's training the hardest. You got a lot of people training hard in that room, but Kynan always a little bit more lackadaisical than everybody. We're always hoping to catch him get one of those really hard, tough rounds where he submits a bunch of people, but he's always very, very kind of slow, a little bit more lackadaisical. And then he goes out on the stage at ADCC and just, what was it, 7 of 8 submissions, just demolishes some of these guys, makes it look easy. That absolute final that he had, I mean, he kind of made it look easy. So I'm just wondering, like, what is it about Kynan where it's like sometimes he's a little hot and cold, maybe sometimes he likes to kind of play it a little cooler, cool the jets on training and stuff, but then can just go out and just perform like nobody else when the lights are on.
Yeah, I think the difference kind of knows how to train. He always know how to manage his technique and work on his gaps. So I think that made a huge difference in his performance. And he's the type of athlete that he loves to learn. He loves to improve. And when we see his losses, we could see that wasn't like the kind of that everyone expecting. Mm-hmm. Right. So and there was some things in training that we fixed, but also the mindset. Right. Yeah. His mindset was sharp, and he was ready, and he was very open to learn in this ADCC. You see, like his posture, his hand fight, his wrestling, guard passings, the pressure, and kind of knows his limits. He knows like when he has to I say that kind of when he trains with you, he goes at your level. Let's say he's right here and you're here, right? And then he goes down here, so just to have a good train with you, Sometimes he allows you to control him, to get a good position on him, so he can practice the escape. So I think that's the difference of Kainan. And he's very gift. He's a gift. He has this talent, his mind and his body, his genetics. Man, he's incredible. He has a great mobility, right? And I think this for sure was the best performance of Kainan. And I believe like he almost matched like Roger Gracie's record, which is all submission, right? Mm-hmm. But he got 7 submissions out of 8, and the only guy that he didn't tap was Dante Leon. Yeah. That was a fight between Kainan and Dante at the Grand Prix in IBJJF, and Kainan couldn't submit him as well, So he say Dante is very compact, very small. It's hard to control him.
Yeah, I was saying.
Yeah, Dante did a great job, definitely.
Roger owes Dante dinner or something, right? No, that's important to note, though. It's just like it was an incredible performance from Kynan, but not only was it an incredible performance, it was like one of the greatest performances in ADCC history.
Oh yeah.
So, and with that title now, Kainan's got 4 ADCC titles. That's among the most, right? There's only a couple people that have more than 4 ADCC titles, and you are probably, up there as the most titles.
Yeah, we're talking to one, right?
So, yeah, what's it mean for you for Kynan to kind of sneak in? He's going to be fighting for the super fight title next time around, hopefully in 2026. What would it mean for Kynan to kind of pick up on that legacy?
Man, I believe that it just happened really fast. You know, I'll put my phone like this because I'm listening to my voice.
Yeah, no worries.
So,
You're doing great, Andre.
thank you, man. I'm doing my best here. But yeah, so I think I remember at one time. Remember, like when Kainan won his first world title, he did this because all like a lot of champions they go like 5 times, like 6 times. You know? Kainan started like, oop, you know, and then he knew that he would get more and more and more. But there was one day that I was talking with him, and he's like, Professor, you won 6 times, man. 6 times. I don't know if I can do it. I think I'll get a couple and I'm fine. But now I think he got in the level that he understood that is not, I would say, not impossible for him to even get more. Because he got all these 4 world titles at the ADCC with 25 years old, 26 years old, right? So it's so young. There's so much for him to achieve. And I believe his next fight against Gordo is going to be incredible. He has a great chance to win. Right? Everybody knows that. If Kaina get a really good camp and he got there with his mindset the way he was at the ADCC, he's for sure going to do really well. And if Mo allows him to compete in the weight division, the open class, maybe he can get 3 ADCCs, you know, like we see that right now. Like I have 6 ADCC world titles. Gordon has like 7, I think, right now, because he has 2 super fights, right? But I think Kaina can even when you see like oh man, this guy now has like 6 world titles, 7 world titles. Is there anyone that's gonna pass this guy? Everything is possible, you know. Everything's possible. Nothing. Records are made to be broken. And that's what I told Kaina. I said, Kaina, you have to come up and break all the records, you know. And I told him, Kaina, you're so gifted that if you want, you can be the greatest of all time. You know, you can be the best. You have the talent, you have the body type, you have a great mind, you're intelligent, you're smart. And this is just the beginning of Kaina's legacy for sure. And I am super proud of being part of his history, you know, his legacy.
Certainly. So another
since the beginning.
Yeah. Another historic performance was from Adele. She won the women's absolute division. I think she's the youngest ADCC absolute champion ever, right? Under 55 kilograms. Like, I don't think anyone else is.
Lightest, certainly.
Yeah, lightest.
Yeah.
But was there anything about Adele's performance that surprised you? Did you expect Adele to come out and kind of double gold like this? You know, what did you think about her performance?
I knew it. Man, Adele, when you watch her training, she's very similar to Kaina. But the difference is she's smaller. She's smaller, right? She's not the biggest in the gym, right? Kaina is one of the biggest guys we have here at the gym. And you know that the weight division makes a difference, right? when you fight, when you're training. But Adele, she's small, but her jiu-jitsu is so like incredible, so technical. And every time she trains, she's smiling, she's happy, you know, she's very positive attitude all the time, you know, all the time. And I feel that it's just the beginning of Adele. Right? She can improve so much. There's some areas that she can do better. For example, she doesn't have a great wrestling, you know. She passes the guard, but it's not her A game, right? She has a lot of attacks from the bottom, but there's a lot of gaps that we can cover, that we can improve, and we can get better. I feel that Adele can be like probably like 5-6 times better than she is right now. You know, she can definitely like dominate the no gi for a while, even though like she's like smaller. And there's other physical aspect as well that she can get stronger. You know, she's still like small, but of course like her game work according to that body type, right? We're not gonna try to make her be like heavier and heavier and heavier. Her jiu-jitsu already showed that it's possible for her to get double gold, even though she's the smallest in the division. Her toughest match was against the girl from AJ,
Maisa
Maisa
Bastos.
The first fight, Maisa. Yeah, Maisa is a great champion, right? So that was the toughest match, right? And they fought before many times. I believe they're gonna fight again soon, you know. And I think that was the toughest match because like Maisa is very technical as well, right? But I could see that Adele has she's a little bit, let's say, one step ahead on the nogi, you know, from the other girls. You know, you can see like the way she approached to the techniques, to the positionings. I think the whole female community will study her game and try to replicate that. You know, it works. Like she's the role model for the nogi girls.
Adele's somebody who is not afraid to kind of call for what she wants, right? For a couple months, maybe even after Brasileiro 2023, she's been calling for that match with Maisa. After she won her ADCC titles, she started calling for a match with Fionn. How much of that energy, that attitude, do you as a coach like to see from your athletes?
Man, this is key, right? Fernando Tererê, my master, his mom, she's very humble and super mellow woman. She used to tell us, fighter don't win, fighters fight. So you have to keep fighting. You have to keep on fighting. And that's the message, you know, that I sent to all the fighters here. So no matter what, you have to be hungry to fight. You have to be hungry to fight against the best. Right? Because the best, the respect that you can show to your opponent, it's training as much as you can and get well prepared and try to destroy your opponent. that's the respect that you can show to your opponent, right? And I think Adele has the talent to achieve all these victories against all these athletes. Of course, like Fionn is incredible, right? She's really good. She's super tight and connected in her game, right? And Maisa also, like the scrambles is amazing. But I feel that the energy that Adele has is the example that all the fighters has to have. You know, you have to have the will to fight. You have to be active, right? And the biggest example that we had in the jiu-jitsu community, the entire jiu-jitsu community, and it's going to be a legend forever, is Leandro Law. Leandro Law is a guy like that, right? He was a fighter that has this type of example. He never tried to hide from titles and things like that. He always acted, always fighting, and always willing to fight against the best, and always willing to be the best. So if you want to be the best, you have to have energy and you have to have the will and power to fight.
For sure. So I know, Andre, we told you we'd only have you like 30 minutes or so I don't want to hold you up too long, especially with the technical difficulties we got. But I want to ask you before you go, Sarah Galvão, you know, are we going to see Sarah in a couple years or so, maybe 2026? Are we going to see her start taking over the ADCC female divisions? Or, you know, what's the plan for Sarah in the no-gi world?
Yeah, so Sarah definitely, she got motivated after ADCC. Right after ADCC, she was like, Dad, I really like it. It was incredible. And I told her during the whole camp, I say, let's go train no-gi, baby. And she was like, oh, Dad, I don't want to train. I help them. But towards the end of the camp, she started improving and she started like feeling better and better. It's like, I think I'm ready. And now she started competing no-gi. She's liking to fight no-gi. She's like to train as well. And pretty soon, of course, you guys will see Sarah competing no-gi as well. But for now, she's really focused on the gi. Really focused on the gi, and she'll be in the next ADCC for sure, I have no doubt.
That would be awesome. I'm excited to see it. She's going to, you know, she might take over the Andre Galvão legacy and take it to new heights.
Let's go.
Well, Andre,
has that always been the plan, Andre? Have you been kind of pushing Sarah this way for a long time, and she's kind of now just starting to go ahead?
My plan is to have Angelica fight ADCC too. I told Angelica, we're going to be the first family to bring ADCC husband, wife, and daughter. Let's do it. And she's like, you're crazy. You're crazy. But Angelica, she's good.
Yeah.
She's a monster.
We haven't seen Angelica for a little bit, but it always
incredible.
Fun. Mm-hmm. But do you feel like Sarah's kind of now starting to, fulfill some of the prophecies maybe laid on early in her life, or are you just kind of letting her do her thing, and as she likes jiu-jitsu, you're there to be happy for her?
Yeah. Now we saw and we know and we all understand that her future is already has a direction. Her future has a direction. So we can't change that anymore. Right? I hope like we can. Nothing bad happens, right? We just want to, in terms of injury, I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we want to make sure that Sarah like is keep her legacy, her own legacy, And I feel that she has a lot of maturity. She has authenticity. She speaks good English, good Portuguese, communicates really well in both languages, and Sarah definitely is. It's super different. She's very authentic, and I'm very proud of her. And I know that her future is bright in jiu-jitsu. There's no way we can stop that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Andre. Well,
you guys already started training for ADCC 2026 then? You guys already started laying the groundwork?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
We train to be ready to compete against the best. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sarah's ready.
Well, Andre, we'll let you kind of hang up. We're going to continue on, talk about some other events we got coming up. But before you go, is there anything, what do you got going on? Where can the people find you? Can they watch your little ATOS on demand,
Sure.
Where?
Yeah, look at it. I should do this. I should all right, guys. I think
Yeah.
ATOS on
There you
go.
Exactly.
If you want to learn jiu-jitsu, go here. ATOS BJJ on demand. For everyone, right? It's not from ATOS members.
That's right.
It's for everyone. So you can find me there, teaching classes, teaching techniques. But also you can reach me out on Instagram at Galvão BJJ and all the other social medias at Galvão BJJ. Okay, so every single social media you can find right there. And I'll be communicating with you if you communicate with me. All right, I'll be there. So thank you so much. And also, if you want to train here at ATOS headquarters, our gym is open for everyone, okay? We accept visitors here. It doesn't matter where you train. So we're here to help the community. We do a beautiful work here.
Awesome. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate you calling in and everything. We'll let you go ahead and get out of here. Thanks, man. Always good talking to you.
All right, appreciate that. Oh, don't forget, the best gi in the world. King's Kimonos.
There you go.
See you.
Say hi to the team for us, Andre. Say hi to everybody over there.
Yeah. See ya.
All right, guys.
See you, brother. Awesome. Always great having the legend himself out there in San Diego. Like I say it all the time, but there's a lot of people who talk the talk. Andre Galvão is a guy who walks the walk for sure. So always fun to pick his brain.
100%. It's interesting talking to Andre, hearing him talk about that transition from, athlete to coach. I feel like that's a very hard thing to do, whenever you finally are like, all right, I'm a full-time coach now. But it seems like Andre kind of, found his purpose there as the coach, and I definitely think his team reaped some rewards from having him at the helm as well.
He still misses it though. I feel like
right. You can still see
part
it.
of him where it's like, there are still some matches where he looks and he's like, I could do pretty well here.
Yeah.
We talk about this every once in a while. There's, the retirement process in jiu-jitsu is not super refined, right? A lot of guys will retire and then come back the next weekend and compete, and retire and come back next weekend and compete. I think it has to be a little bit easier, maybe. Still, obviously, difficult to step away, but to step away and watch the rest of your team and your family continuing to just win everything.
For sure. I think I'm down to make a prediction now that I think Sarah Galvão is going to, as soon as she starts competing and does ADCC, I think she is going to make it to ADCC. And I think eventually we're going to see Sarah Galvão potentially become one of the most dominant female
1,000%.
ADCC champions ever.
I mean, she's 17, 18 years old now, and she'll be competing at she's not a black belt yet, but World Pro, she'll have her first opportunity to compete at the black belt level for a world title.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like her versus Gabby Pisagna. We could totally see that. I feel like in just a couple years. Yeah, and Gabby's so dominant, and Sarah, I agree, is going to be kind of like that new age, new generation, but just as dominant. You can just see it in her. I feel like that she still has that love for jiu-jitsu, which is so important, right? So
I kind of wonder if, because I've heard Andre kind of talk about her, his plan with Sarah, and with that new IBJJF rule, that if she were to go out and win no-gi worlds, which I think we all kind of expect that she could be competing with the black belts as early as
it's
Euros.
If you win brown belt no-gi worlds, you can compete with the black belts.
If you win gi or no gi worlds, you are immediately eligible to be promoted. And so you could win both color belt worlds in the year, like purple belt worlds, get your brown belt worlds, get your black belt.
Got it. And there's no
more waiting periods.
Yeah,
Like Cassia Mora, for example, who is also, I think, somebody to watch out for ADCC 2026, was able to do it so fast. So I think Sarah's, coming fast to be one of the top people.
For sure. But all right, this is the ADCC update show, but like one of the only rules here is there are no rules, baby, dude. We'll talk about whatever the freak we want to talk about, and we won't talk about whatever we don't want to talk about as well. And so basically it's, whatever, I guess.
Alley Cat rules apply.
Yeah, Alley Cat rules, of course.
Are in effect.
But we got a big event coming up, Ocean BJJ Pro. Joe, I'm hoping you got some info over there so I don't mess up these details. But September 21st, Ocean BJJ Pro is going down in Sardinia, Italy. Did I say that right? Sardinia?
Sardinia.
I'm a big fan of sardines myself, so Sardinia definitely interests me. So I'll be checking out this event to see what they're doing over in Sardinia. But
Portugal is big sardines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, huge.
IBJJF Euros might have to get some sardines.
Yeah.
But Ocean BJJ Pro, this event kind of popped up a little bit out of nowhere for me. I feel like I'd heard it before. Maybe they've done a few events, but this is the first time I was looking into the brackets and everything. They got 2 16-man brackets, right? And with those brackets, there's 4 kind of notable names who were invited, and then 12 more local athletes competing on the card. So definitely going to get an interesting mix of kind of matchups and some people you don't know, some people you do, and kind of, I'm hoping it's exciting stuff. But you got some details over there on it for us, Joe?
I do. 16-man brackets, 2 brackets, plus and minus 80 kilos. It looks like they're doing like the Aiga style, like 3 rounds of 5 minutes kind of rule set is what it looks like. The light division under 80 kilos is going to feature 4 pros. Their words: Tarek Hopstock, Espen Mathiasen, Marcin Held, and Fabieri Christian. Those are the 4 guys at minus 80. They've all had a lot of good no-gi success. Some, Fabieri won brown belt worlds last year. In the heavy division, plus 80 kilos, Tommy Longacker, Lucas Lira, Manuel Pilato, and new addition Sebastian Rodriguez is going to be the 4th man there. So everybody else is going to be kind of like local, very tough Italian pros, European pros. But then you have these 4 sharks in the water just looking to take out everybody and then probably eventually see each other in the semifinals and the finals.
Yeah, definitely creates an interesting dynamic where you have 4 pretty elite grapplers mixed with 12 local guys who, who knows, dude? A local guy could just run through this, 100%. Make a name for themselves in this bracket. But definitely, I think it's going to create an interesting dynamic in these brackets where the first couple rounds, I don't know, is it going to be like trials-esque, like early rounds of trials? Is it going to be like some of these guys going to get caught off guard? Like, what's going to happen?
Hopefully we see Tommy and Tarek and stuff kind of hitting a couple highlight reel submissions. That's kind of like fingers crossed what I'm hoping for. Some of these guys I don't know yet, but I do think that's one of the best parts about this is at the moment, I feel like European Jiu-Jitsu is just fucking sick right now. Like the scene over there is just popping off. I feel like maybe it was America maybe 5 years ago ish, where it's just you got kind of tons of new guys coming around. You got the level is just kind of soaring right now. You got guys who are establishing themselves as veterans, like the Espens and the Tommies and
Ash Williams.
Ash Williams, absolutely. So now you have this kind of this like veteran generation of European grapplers who have competed on the biggest stages, the ADCCs, the IBJJF Worlds, and stuff like that, who have medaled at these huge events. And now you got kind of those guys, and then you got the kind of generation that's been inspired by those guys, kind of coming up and everything. And so I think, yeah, just the European jiu-jitsu scene, super fun. Like the Owen Joneses, even, you know, I feel like Owen Joneses are kind of inspired by the Tommies and stuff like that. So you're seeing this kind of new generation of European grappler, super fun. The level over there is super high, getting higher. So definitely just love to see kind of like who's kind of who in the European jiu-jitsu scene, who's kind of that next guy coming up, that next Taylor Perriman or that next Owen Jones type of thing. And I think this is going to give us a good sense of kind of who some of those guys are, as well as getting to see, you know, Tommy do his thing and Tarek do some Tarek Plata cool stuff.
I want to call this out too, because I feel like we've been following him for a while, but he might not have really hit his moment yet. But if you have not watched Faburi, Faburi Christian has some of the most exciting jiu-jitsu since he was a purple and brown belt, now at the black belt ranks. But gi, no gi, his matches are always kind of all over the place. Looks a little like the Rutolos, a little like Mika. He's flying all over the place, jumping on stuff. When he wins, it's exciting. When he loses, it's exciting. I think if you haven't watched any Faburi Christian, go through the FloGrappling archives. There's so much just fun, interesting jiu-jitsu from him.
Yeah, Faburi.
It's going to take a minute to find because it is not spelled how you are going to expect it.
No, that's what I was going to say. Faburi is incredibly exciting, but there's no chance anyone out there knows how he spells Christian. It is the most insane spelling of Christian I've ever seen in my life. So, I mean, good luck just finding that.
Use that Y key.
Luckily, Faburi will get you where you need to go, but certainly Christian is a wild spelling. But kind of what you were saying, Reed, about the European scene, I kind of feel like just as a fan of jiu-jitsu, the European scene is where I'm kind of currently like still, I feel like this whole year have been just locked in on and just like a huge fan to watch right now. That's why I'm excited to watch this event, because it's like a very European event, you know, Italian production, you know, an Italian promotion, bringing on a bunch of European guys. But the European scene for me, for some reason, is just like this weird, fresh, fun, like jiu-jitsu little pocket to be a part of and to be watching and everything right now. Like you said, so many new guys, so many veterans now. It's like we're kind of watching like a subsect of the jiu-jitsu world kind of be formed, you know, establish their veterans, kind of get their new stars, you know. So it's fun.
It's really fun too, watching a lot of these. I'm thinking specifically of two, but there are a lot of European guys who were diehard gi athletes for the longest time. That, you know, Tommy Lengaker is the best example. Won a no-gi world title before he won a gi title after being an exclusively gi guy for the longest time. Came out and, oh great, he's also incredible at no-gi. Espen's becoming that too, right?
Yeah.
Espen has kind of seamlessly transitioned into no-gi, and a guy who is got a very grip-heavy jiu-jitsu game, a very, very bolo and inversion jiu-jitsu game, just making no-gi a seamless transition.
For sure.
% Look at Fionn, #1 pound-for-pound woman in the world, women's grappling in the world. Made her name first. She's won titles now in both, but made her name first in no-gi, right? And really blew up and made herself a star in no-gi. And is also just a really important factor in all this. And something else that's really cool is you see these European guys, when they win, they feel like they're representing Europe, right? They feel like they're, how funny it would be if I just broke that. They feel like they're representing Europe. Like they'll shout out Europe, be like, European Jiu-Jitsu, let's go, doing it for. And that gives it like this really cool, like they're in this together element. Really appreciate that.
Man, I went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and
no way.
Yeah.
That's in Europe?
No. This is in Brazil.
Oh, my bad.
South America.
Oh, that Rio.
Yeah, different one, different Rio. And it's 2016, and with in Espen, Tommy, Vagar, Ida there. They all competed at the Copa Podio in 2016, and they were brown belts. It was the Cabras de Pêche versus the Vikings. And just to see like how far those dudes have come, you know, just black belts now, obviously, and just killing it. And just seeing Espen, you know, doing no-gi, and glad to see Espen kind of back on the competition circuit a little bit more and stuff like that. He took a little bit of a break, it seemed like. But I don't know. It's just awesome. I just remember those guys from 2016, Rio de Janeiro. That was a crazy event. Copa Podio, lightweight Grand Prix, I believe. It
was a sick one, yeah. It was Leandro and Lepre in the final.
Yep, Dylan Dennis was there. That was a crazy event. But Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share that story.
Yeah.
That it's just been fun watching Tommy and Espen for a while. You didn't like my story?
No, I liked it.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that,
You
man.
guys that are true.
I'm Reed, and I have a story.
Would you mind if I shared a story?
But no,
quickly?
it does kind of make me think like there's obviously a lot of really dope stuff going on in the jiu-jitsu world currently. You know, it's kind of rising to heights it's maybe never seen before. But there's also, if you look back in the archives, the old history books, maybe an old drive with some FloGrappling footage way back that Reed probably has, there's some sick events that like could use some resurgences.
Yeah, some
Copa
iconic
Podio,
ones.
bro. Like bringing back Copa Podio would be dope. I know we saw Quintet,
I was
in
thinking
September. I think it happened September 10th, 2023. So basically like a year ago. But like, man, if Quintet was back and like regularly pumping out events and stuff, like
Kasai, I think we mentioned at some point.
certainly some like dope events that like looking back on them, like, man, that'd be cool. You know? I think Quintet for me is like the number one, like kind of. It's like, I guess, still active. Like a year ago is not that crazy. Hopefully they bust something out soon. But like for me, Quintet was always one of my favorite.
Quintet's just fun, right? It's like it's just just different enough that it's still it's obviously jiu-jitsu, but there's just those little kind of tweaks that just make it fun and exciting and not too serious. And just getting like some wild shit's gonna happen.
Anytime you can see Gio Martinez always would kill that event. And Gio, I feel like, kind of became a fan favorite there. Wagner, I feel like, was kind of killing Kasai.
Heisem.
Became a star in Kasai. I feel like Wagner, Hanato Canuto.
I mean, even Dante kind of made his name in Kasai, right? Canuto for sure. But
Yeah.
Dante, I remember kind of his ADCC qualification in 2017, or his invite, was really based on a couple Kasai performances.
Certainly. Aiga's they got some stuff going. They're kind of
Aiga's getting up there,
a little Quintet-esque energy about them where they're starting to put together some kind of wild stuff. I definitely think like the first iteration of Aiga felt very much like there was like Team Madolfo, you know, that was like the known guys, and like a lot of Russian, Dagestan type of teams, more local Kazakhstan guys. And now this year's season is kind of pulling in a lot more of the mainstream, like high level guys and teams.
The team's kind of evened out a little bit more.
Yeah, like this Long Beach Aiga going down, I think it's October 17th, right? The weekend of the 17th, 18th, 19th. Hearing some murmurs of some pretty sick teams going to be involved in that one that you could probably guess, you know, out on the West Coast who would want to be a part of that one. But so there's some cool stuff on the horizon for sure. Anything else going on with you guys though?
But yeah, just to put a bow on that Ocean BJJ there, you got some high-level commentary team going to be out there. Of course, our own Ricardo Mendolia and Damian Maya are going to be there calling the action. And then you know, they're doing like a whole kind of like week-long thing of kind of just like a camp and just like a good time out in Sardinia. So next time, if you guys didn't make it out this time, I'm sure they're going to do another one. So keep an eye out on that one because it looks like it's going to be a good time. A bunch of seminars, a bunch of chilling on the beach, watching an epic event out there. So it sounds like it's going to be a fun kind of week-long event.
For sure. So make sure you guys are tuned into that one. You know, hopefully we'll have some new episodes coming soon. We might be going through a rebrand. I don't know. I'll leak that a little bit for you guys. We might be changing up this podcast, what it looks like.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you think it should be called, what you want this podcast to be, so we can accommodate your wants and needs. But thank you all for tuning in. Sorry we went through a little bit of technical difficulties, but we'll see you guys in the next episode.